Good morning. It's a beautiful sunny day and the sun's still shining. Sorry about that, but it does lift the spirits. So here we are back at the sheep barn. Boys have just started chores here. Just going to give you a brief update of what's going on around here. It's a bit noisy, so I'll wait before I get in the barn. You don't have to listen to that. So this morning at least there was some frost to get us out of the mud. We just had a really muddy week, as you can see. But I think winter's finally gonna come and we're gonna get some cold weather. So that's good. But anyways, today I just wanted to show you guys kind of what's going on in the barn, what we're going to be doing to get ready for lambing. I think there might be a few that are going to lamb in the next week or two. So we're excited to share that with you, and probably be 2-3 weeks before we really get going. But we're really excited for when that time will come. This is a big time of the year. At the very beginning, it's always super fun. We get tons of new life on the farm, but I know as time goes by it becomes tiring because it's ongoing. It's part of the way we do it. We kind of do drag out our lambings because we just let them breed naturally. We don't try to get them all to breed exactly at the same time, like within a week or two. So that's just the way it is for us, which is fine. And we might try to change things up in the next year, but for now this is the way it's going to be, and hopefully we have lots of lambs. That's the goal. So this past week we ended up buying some hay. I saw a pretty good deal on a Facebook group that I'm a part of, where they buy and sell hay and straw. So I picked up these. Actually, they delivered them. These are big square bales. They weigh about 1,200 pounds each, and they're all individually wrapped. And they brought them here, 15 on a trailer. I think they're about 70 bucks each, which is a bit of a ridiculous price for me. Most of my bales don't cost more than $25 to $30, so the fact that I had to buy them at $70 is a bit painful, but we got to be able to keep our sheep fed, and I know almost for sure we didn't have enough hay, so I'm going to buy about 40 of them. And it's mostly grass hay, which is what we're after. We find if we feed too much clover, it has a bit of a negative effect on them just before they lamb. Clover's pretty high in the hormone estrogen, which can cause them to either come into start lambing somewhat early, which is never good, and the other thing it can cause is prolapsing. It weakens their muscles in their back end, so we don't want any of that. We've had a little bit of that in the past, so we're trying to avoid that by feeding strictly grass hay, and so that's what we purchased here. This hay is made up of oats and peas, and I'll show you in a minute, once the barn is a little bit quieter, what's going on in there in terms of our feeding program, which is slowly evolving into more and more nutrition as these ewes get closer to lambing time. So I'll just do a quick walkthrough here, and you can just see what's going on. Got both my boys helping, Isaac and Curtis. So they're mixing up some feed right now. Filling the corn. just like that, the barn is silent. Hey, little guys. Little girls, I should say. Munching. Like I've said before, nothing a sheep likes more really than some corn. It is really like candy for them. But I just want to show you here what's going on. As you can see, we parked a bunch of these big square bales in this barn, throughout the barn. They're very heavy. You can't move them around at all by hand, other than one leaf at a time. And we're not putting them through the bale buster because this stuff is pretty long and stringy. I'll kind of show you. If you look at this here, if you look at that, what happens is as it tries to fling it out of that bale buster, there's a bunch of prongs that come down along the whole side of the bale buster, and as soon as some of this stuff gets caught on it, this stuff right here, it forms a big clump, and then the whole thing plugs up. So I tried it on one bale, and I probably had to get out 6 or 7 times just to unplug it, which becomes very inefficient. So we decided we'd open up 4 bales, put them in the aisle, and then just fork the hay to them. We don't have to go far with it because we've got so many in the aisle, and we find that this is working pretty good. So as I was saying, this is an oats and peas mixture. It's very leafy. The more leafy it is, generally speaking, the more digestible it is. They won't like to eat this sort of thing, this stemmy stuff. If you look through here, this is stuff that they partially picked through already. A lot of these thick stems, they just don't want to eat it. And even if they do, I don't think there's a ton of value there for them. So thankfully this hay here was cut early enough that there was still lots of leaf. So that's what we were looking for when we were purchasing this hay. And they don't seem to go crazy over it in terms of really loving it, but they're still definitely eating it. At this stage in their pregnancy, you want to really make sure that they're taking in as much matter feed as they can, because as their babies, their lambs are growing inside, that puts a lot of pressure on their rumen. So they actually have to eat more often in smaller amounts in order to get the nutrition that they need. That's also a reason why we are feeding them more corn now, just so that they get higher plane of nutrition with less bulk, so less volume of feed. So this whole big lambing group right here, as well as this back group here, there's about 190 ewes in that group, and we've started feeding them both the expeller meal and the corn now, just to really up that nutrition, keep those lambs growing, and to keep those ewes in good condition. If those ewes get skinny before they lamb, there's no way we're going to keep them in good condition throughout nursing. So that's where we're at. Thankfully we found some hay. It's extremely scarce. We've seen bales going for up to $130 a bale, which in my mind is utterly ridiculous. But supply and demand is basically what it is. And I mean, nobody's making money if they're paying $130 a bale. But I guess you got to keep your animals fed and keep them alive. And I think that's the dilemma that some people are facing. So we're thankful we have as much feed and hay as we do, and hopefully we won't have to buy any more. So this is pretty much how we've been feeding them. It really doesn't take that long. We feed them a good amount in the morning. We really don't have to worry about feeding them too heavily at night. We can just mainly push up again. So So one of the things I like to do as they start to get closer to lambing is to clean out this water bowl here, is to go along as they're feeding, and just to keep an eye on them. It's amazing how much they continue to develop their udders in preparation for lambing within a short period of time. Within a week you can see quite a bit of difference. And if you look carefully at them as I walk along here, you can see that most of them are starting to bag up pretty good. They're a little bit skittish. They're not used to me being in here that much. There's very few in here that really don't have any udder showing hardly at all, which is a good sign. That means that a lot of them are going to probably be lambing at roughly the same time, which is kind of what we like. We like it when we have a big group lambing within at least a few weeks. You get a nice even sized group of lambs, and you also get you're busy in there anyway, so you might as well have a bunch of them going at the same time. I know that I saw one or two that are like, literally they could be lambing within a week. Sometimes it's deceiving, so you don't know for sure. Like that one right there showing no udder. It's possible she didn't even conceive. Munching. Looks like she did takeout. Alright guys, so here's a really quick update on this utility room. We're pretty much finished. Ready for lambing. Even got a coffee maker, but we've got the counter all nicely installed. We've got the sink in, got the faucet in. Tap is working. Drain is working. Hot water heater installed, heater working, plumbing and electrical all run. So I think we're ready to go. This is great. We've got some storage here, all our milk replacer bottles. We've got some storage for some supplies, our tags and some electrical supplies, some screws. You know, this is going to be great. Like I said before, a lot of this stuff came out of our old house before we built a house. These cupboards and also the sink and this counter. So it was helpful to have some of this stuff laying around, and that was just a matter of quickly plumbing and running some electrical lines to get some hydro in here. So we'll see how this goes, and now we just gotta finish getting organized on this end over here. And now we're working on cleaning up this mess over here. After a while, it just gets to a point in which you just do a big cleanup, and hopefully through lambing season we can kind of keep it that way. And then through the summer we're not in this barn very much because most of the sheep are on pasture. So it's this time of the year we want to get things kind of cleaned up and organized so that when we're working in here it's a lot more pleasant, and we can find the things we need right away without looking for them. So that's what we're after today. Right, Kurt?
Right.
Isaac? Getting her done. Just no zeal. What's going on? Okay, we're gonna fill up some bags there. You're on camera, man. You're a garbage man today.
She's always wanted to do.
It's every boy's dream, right? All we're missing is the truck. Dumping. This is interesting. See how this is gonna work. You gotta hold the bag at the same time, I think, eh?
Kind of in. Why is it coming out? Go! Stay.
I never envisioned it going this way, but
Wait, you take it off. Nothing came out. Is that one closed now? No, probably. Dad found some rubber boots.
didn't fit me.
So therefore they're not yours? I blocked you. Oh. Rootin'.
Searching. There's no corn left, Blackie.
Eating. Nibbling.
Who is this?
1222. I think the kids called her Tammy.
The kids called her Tammy. That's what I call Lamey. Sorry about that. That was really lame. We anyways, guys, we finished up chores. We got a bunch of stuff cleaned up. You know, it's just the way it goes. Probably especially on farms. Very easy for things to get messy and out of order. So it's something we have to do on a more regular basis for sure. It's something we can work on. But we're done that for now, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. We got a bunch of footage of the sheep here.
Stay tuned for the next video. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe.
That had a little boo-boo.
Just kidding, guys. I hope you do have a wonderful day. But that's the end of the video. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. We won't see you, but you might see us. Bye-bye.